What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be reviewing the final episode of Ninjago Crossroads Crosstalk, episode 6, titled Caught. So let's talk about this. Now, before we can get into this episode, if you haven't listened to the latest episode of Crossroads Crosstalk, I highly recommend going to ninjago.com and listen to the episode and then come back to this video. But if you guys already listened to the latest episode of Crossroads Crosstalk, well, let's talk about this. Now, this is, of course, the final episode of this podcast where it talks about who has been stealing and who's been doing these organized crimes. And, well, it turns out to be Rapton. Who would have guessed? Because, yeah, he's been stealing a bunch of stuff around the crossroads. And turns out he wants to steal something in the monastery. Turns out that Creel and Labo go to the monastery where they think they were gonna meet up with Mr. Frohike. However, it isn't. It's just Rapton horribly disguised as Frohike and trying to steal some stuff in the monastery, while the ninja are still scattered around the merged lands. And Frohike probably got kidnapped by Roz or probably tied up in the monastery. We don't exactly know, but Creel and Labo did say he's somewhere tied up, I guess. So who knows if Roz kidnapped Frohike because Frohike knows a lot about the monastery itself, or that Frohike is just tied up somewhere. Either way, Rontu and Geode are also not mentioned at all because this takes place right after season 3, so I don't know what happened to those two characters as well. But either way, this episode was okay. It was a meh episode. It was kind of unexpected. And it was quite easy to figure out that Rapton was the one who's been doing these organized crimes since the literal series. And overall, this episode was mediocre. So, yeah, I don't have too much to say about this episode. That being that this is, of course, the final episode of the podcast. But my overall thoughts on this series as a whole, it's okay. But I think I'll give my own thoughts on the series in its own separate video. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts and reviews on episode 6 on Crossroads Crosstalk. But what do you guys think about the finale episode of Crossroads Crosstalk? Leave all your thoughts down in the comments down below, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video, and until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!